Most of you know that I went to Africa last month, and a lot of you supported me with that financially, through prayer, through helping out with my dinners or anything that I did. So I figured, none of you really know what happened in Africa, so I thought, hey, I should really let them know what went on over there. It was really far away, halfway across the world. Everything is different. It really changed my life for the better, personally. I think it did. Little things, like even just then when I was trying to get offering for the plate, all I could find in my purse was rand, which is the currency there in South Africa. The church here is so much different than the church there. I mean, one of the big differences was when we did go to church there, everyone kind of was squished together, which is a lot different than what we have going on here today. Everyone's kind of dispersed, but in African church in a tent with a dirt floor, everyone's kind of a little bit closer. So that's definitely something that I noticed is different. So one of the biggest things that I noticed when I was trying to get to Africa was that airports are a scary place. I had to go for a lot of different flights. I did 18 hours to Johannesburg from Washington, D.C., but I had to fly a bunch of different flights before that to get to Washington, and overall I flew about 24 hours to get there and 24 to get back. So that was insane. When I arrived, you can picture me, this Canadian girl. I've got flip-flops on and capris. I'm just ready to go. And it's below freezing when we got off the bus. So everyone's kind of bundled up, but we're all in summer clothes thinking, Africa's going to be warm. Africa wasn't warm. Africa was very cold. The first night that I got there, I actually slept in 2 pairs of pants, 2 sweaters, a coat, like a winter coat that you'd wear here in the winter, a winter coat, a hat, mittens. The trick there's a trick. You fill up your water bottle with hot water and you sleep with it, because we didn't have heat in the dorms, so to keep warm, we carried our hot water bottles around a lot. So those Nalgene bottles that you bring to drink, we filled them up with hot water instead of water to drink. We would wake up in the morning, and they had a fountain outside. It was just a cute little fountain, but we'd wake up in the morning and it would actually be frozen. So, yeah. You think that Africa is really hot, but where I went, since it was winter, it was really cold. There were about 20 other people other than me. There were a lot of girls. There were only a couple of different guys, but all the girls there. I made a lot of friends. When we first got there, we had to go through training, right, to do ministry, because we didn't really know what we were doing. We just kind of went to Africa hoping for the best. So we did training for a few days, which is basically, we sat together. We didn't know each other. We just kind of sat together and let the leader tell us what it means to do ministry and how to talk to these people. And they tried to teach us some African words, which we weren't good at. But after a couple of days, we got to actually get into ministry, which was really interesting, really cool. There were lots of salvations, lots of crazy, strange. I mean, the first time that I went to the squatter camp, I remember, I wish that I could show you the slideshow, because I have a video when I was going into the squatter camp, so you could all see it, but maybe next Sunday we'll do that. But when I first got there, I remember there was smog, and I didn't really understand, like, here we don't really have smog. Like, you think we kind of do a little bit, but we don't. It's literally a cloud of, like, you don't even want to breathe when you drive into it, because it's scary. And all you can see for miles is just these little piecework tin, you can't even call them houses, they call them shacks there. The people that live there don't even refer to them as homes, because, I mean, honestly, they're about the size of, like, they're about the size of a closet, and they're made out of random pieces of tin and pieces of wood that they found places, and they actually live in these. They have dirt floors, and they don't have electricity, and they have to go get their water, and it's insane. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them, like, as far as you can see. I mean, a picture doesn't really show you how many of these houses there are, because like I couldn't even see them all. I was there for weeks and I didn't get to see all these houses because there were so many of them. I went to 2 different squatter camps. That's what they're called. They're literally called squatter camps because the people living there have come from other countries in Africa, because since South Africa is kind of the hub of work, and Johannesburg has a lot of jobs, so people come from all over Africa to get jobs in Johannesburg, but a lot of them don't end up actually getting jobs, so they live in these squatter camps, which is like without their family. So it's kind of like how people go to Alberta here and live over there without their families, except they're living in apartments, not, squatter camps. But it's not good. The 2 different places were called Kaya Sands and Deep Sloot. Deep Sloot was the first one we went to, and that wasn't so bad. We did some ministry there and stuff. That was great. Kaya Sands was quite literally a dump. Literally, this is where the garbage from the city was taken. So, I mean, there are like the streets that we walked on to go talk to people. This is where people live, too. This is actually where people live. There's heaps of garbage, about half the size of this room or so. And then the roads just kind of go through, and you have to step aside for the garbage trucks. And, I mean, people are living in this, so that was fun. When you first get there, you get all these little adorable African kids running at you saying "Mulungus, Mulungus," which means white person in Zulu. And they chase after you quite literally and want to like jump on you and hug you, and they just love you for absolutely no reason. They just love you. So it's really interesting to see, because when you come here, there's not going to be any kids jumping on you. The kids are probably going to be too shy to even say hi. But the kids there want you to pick them up, and they want to hold your hand and walk through the streets. And none of them have shoes, so there's glass everywhere. And I mean, I remember seeing these little kids, and I'm picking them up and thinking, okay, they don't have shoes, they're going to be injured. I just need to carry them around now. It was crazy. We actually based in a school there. We worked with Impact. It's called Impact Africa. You can look it up online if you're interested to see what it's called. But they run a little, it's sort of like a preschool, sort of like an elementary school, and they take kids from the area that are in poverty. I mean, all of them are in poverty, but they take the ones that are really, really down and out. And they find sponsors for them and actually school them in these schools, teach them English, teach them like in the first couple years, like as a child, is when you develop your social skills and your ability to interact with other people. So that's what they really work on, is like helping them to be a light in their community kind of thing. So we worked there, and then we would leave and go out on ministry. And it's strange to go up to people you don't know. They don't speak your language, and to try to talk to them and say like, hey, talk to them about God. I mean, it's crazy, because they don't know you, you don't know them. They're African, you're Canadian. And just to go up to them, we had a method. What you do is you go up and talk to them for a bit and learn about them, because you want to make a relationship with them. Then we would help them out with different things. So a common one of my favorites, was the mamas there, is what you call, any lady in Africa is referred to as a mama. So if you see like any lady in the church and you need to get their attention, you would say, excuse me, mama, and they understand they know that you're talking to them. We would do laundry with them in buckets. You're sitting on the dirt doing laundry in a kiddie pool in a squatter camp. And they laugh at you because you're not good at doing laundry in a bucket, because we put our laundry in machines here. But they're nice, and they let you help them, and then eventually you can talk to them, tell them a couple churches they can start going to, tell them about the Bible. A lot of them don't have Bibles, so we actually had little Gospels of John to give out to them. So that was super fun. It was enjoyable to give. It's enjoyable to give Bibles to people that have never had a Bible, because we take it for granted here. I'm sure everyone here has one or has multiple Bibles, and we just take it for granted when they don't even have any at all, or access to any. So, our first day, we met a lady named Kate. She came right up to us. We weren't doing so great because it's our first day of ministry. We have no idea what we're doing. We end up in this spot, and Kate comes up to us, and she starts talking to us, and she explains, my eyesight's really not great, and the witch doctor told me that it's because the ancestors are mad at me. And so, us being from North America, we're kind of like, what? we don't understand why she's so afraid of that. And she's wearing these bracelets that they call healing bands there, which the witch doctors are there, they call them sangomas. In Zulu, they're called sangomas. The sangomas give them healing bands. You put them around your waist sometimes it's an ankle thing, but it's basically like protection from the ancestors, because they actually and seriously are afraid that their distant relatives that are dead are actually like making them sick and injuring them. It's crazy. So we talked to her about that and actually convinced her to take off the bracelets and to stop going to the Sangoma. And she actually decided to become a Christian that day, so that was really awesome. That was the first person that we were able to talk with, pray with, send to a church. I mean, she got saved. Wow. That was definitely a big moment for me because I'd never seen that before. I mean, you hear people decide to be Christians and it's amazing, and then when you go there, you realize that's all these people have. They don't get to go home and say, forget about it, because they really, literally have nothing else. They have a little tiny shack and dirt, and that is it. So it's a big deal when someone that has absolutely nothing finds that something could happen to you. A couple more ladies that we met. Usually what would happen with people is that they would slowly let you talk to them. They kind of knew, like you told them, hey, this is what we're doing. We're just praying for people today and talking to people. We just want to get to know you. We're learning about the culture. How are you? Kind of thing. But these two ladies that my group and I met basically said, just get to the point. If you're going to tell us about Jesus, do it now. And they looked at us and said, we don't believe in God. We don't think it's a thing. We live here in this water camp, and where's God? Because we're living in a mess, and I'm not interested. I used to pray, and I'm not interested anymore. And we had to show them a lot of scriptures and explain that the bad things that happen are actually God's fault, bad things are always going to happen, but that God still loves them and everything. So that was one thing you really had to hammer home with these people. And they actually decided that they wanted to become Christians as well. So that was great. I found throughout ministry that I was super nervous because I don't know if any of you have ever walked up to a random stranger and tried to tell them about your faith, but it's a little nerve-wracking. Sometimes they don't want to hear what you have to say. Typically they do, because people in Africa are very spiritual, and if they don't believe in God, they believe in something else. So they're not going to look at you like you have 10 heads when you say that you believe in God. But actually talking to people and showing them scriptures and knowing what to say next was really hard. But the last day that we did ministry, for some reason, I just wasn't nervous anymore. I remember meeting this lady at the water pumps. This is where they get their water. And she was washing her mats. So we helped her scrub her mats and such. And we're talking to her, and I find out that she actually doesn't know about, she knew about God, but she didn't understand that that God loves her and that she's not alone. And so, I kind of, being in Canada and going to a church where God's there for you, God loves you, you know that. You think it's great, but the people there actually do not know. No one's told them that before. And I specifically remember saying, has anyone told you that God loves you? Has anyone ever told you that before? And she goes, no one's ever told me that. So I talked to her, and I gave her Gospel of John, and she actually ended up getting saved that day, that was also so exciting. My group was super surprised because I'd really gone out on a limb there, which wasn't really my style at all when I was there, because I kind of wanted to work like in pairs, but I really just went out and did my own thing that day, so that was good. To tell you my favorite, not my favorite, to tell you probably the most, I don't even know the word to describe this story, but one of the things that happened when we were in Deep Sloop, we met a lady that was a Sangoma, a witch doctor. And we were speaking with her for a bit, and I mean, first of all, you feel uncomfortable being in a squatter camp to start with. You feel uncomfortable because you're stepping over garbage constantly, you're around lots of drunk people all the time, everyone's always drunk all the time, and you're uncomfortable. And then to meet a witch doctor makes you a little bit more uncomfortable because we don't have those in North America, ever. So that was also uncomfortable. Then she asked us to pray for her daughter. So we're already feeling pretty nervous, like this is scary stuff, but it's okay, we're good. And she brings up her little daughter, she's about 4, she's super cute, her name's Queen, she's got the cute little dreads and the cute little braid situation going on. And she lifts up her shirt, and this little 4-year-old girl has intestines coming out of her side. So, and this is just like she just pulls up her shirt and there's, bam, like intestines right there, like a few feet away from me. And I mean, you don't get much more uncomfortable than that. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever seen intestines. They're hot pink, and they are not fun to see out of someone at all. She was very sick, and she was originally from Zimbabwe, which is another country in Africa. And since she was from Zimbabwe originally, the South African hospitals actually turned her down for surgery. So she was literally just left in this squatter camp to basically, good luck, hopefully you make it. You probably won't because you have intestines coming out of you, but you know, whatever happens, because we're not going to take care of you because you're from Zimbabwe. So that was pretty upsetting, because I mean, here, if you have something like that, you're going to get fixed. People, even if you live in America and you don't have health care, someone's going to raise money for you. But I mean, a $50,000 surgery like that one that she needed, they obviously couldn't afford it. They're living in a little tin shack. It's like not big. And so we prayed for this girl, and I believe that she will be okay. We prayed for her, and then we prayed for her mother, and so that was good. And we had to go for lunch. So we really wanted to stay to talk with her, but we had to go for lunch. So we came back. And we realized that this lady has a lot of healing bands on, obviously. She's a witch doctor, so she's pretty interested in that stuff. And, you know, the people there that are witch doctors, this is how they get their money. They are literally doing this to make money. So when you try to tell them, hey, no, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this, you can be a Christian, you don't have to be afraid of the ancestors, they have a hard time with that. But after we spoke with her for a while, she actually told us that she would take off 2 healing bands a day. Even though she was so scared because she had all these burn marks and all these scars over her arms that were from the ancestors. I don't know, she said they like threw her in a fire, like that seems pretty scary to me, but apparently that's what happens over in Africa. So but she actually, after we prayed with her and talked with her and shared scriptures with her, she decided to take off healing bands, 2 per day. So there's actually a witch doctor in Africa right now that's slowly becoming not a witch doctor. So that was also